actually have been very heartened by what I've seen across the country.
I was going to ask you, how have police departments been, how receptive have they been to these recommendations, particularly the one that says that police departments need to own their past,
Yes.
need to own the conflict that they've generated, that has generated the distrust between law enforcement and the community. How are police departments responding to that, owning their responsibility?
That's an excellent point, because I often talk to community members who will say, you know, things are great with this police chief, we're actually making very positive strides, but community members will say, but you know, 5 years ago, this incident happened to me, or even 10 years ago, I saw this happen to my older sibling or parent, and that remains in people's consciousness and affects how they interact with the police. A couple of the jurisdictions that I visited, I was actually in Los Angeles just yesterday, and I also went to Miami, and I was in Portland, and I was visiting those jurisdictions because they actually were still in the middle of resolving problems. I mean, the Los Angeles Police Department's history, I think, is well documented, and the issues that they had. They were under a consent decree in the 2000s. They've come out of that now, but I think certainly residents still recall those days. And so I was very heartened to see in my discussions, both with police leadership and community members, that no one was ignoring the past. That people were saying, you know, we have to own the past and we have to acknowledge that we have contributed, we law enforcement have contributed to these problems, and here's what we are doing to be accountable, to be transparent, to be responsible, to pull community members in. Because without that acceptance of responsibility, there won't be trust in the new either regime or policies going forward.